Always use sex. What self-respecting news organization would put Larry Craig in with Paul Wolfowitz and the Iran lies?
Really come up with a new speech on the Rose Garden than what he did this morning. That was pretty weak.
A new war of words, fine for political theater, but what next for the battling branches and the troops? And as the funding of one war is contested, another war drumbeat weakens. A new national intelligence estimate says that Iran halted its nuclear program 4 years ago. But never mind that, Wolfie is back. With that pesky World Bank out of his hair, Paul Wolfowitz might be heading for the State Department advising the administration on disarmament and WMD. Revisionist history as Bush insiders dispute Karl Rove's claims on the 2002 war authorization vote. Rove asserts his position.
What I said was that the general conventional wisdom is that the president was the only person pushing the Congress to vote on the war resolution before the November election. And that's simply not true.
1 month and counting, all eyes on Iowa as Mike Huckabee scores a Hawkeye upheaval and takes the lead among the GOP. All eyes on Rudy as more details emerge about his tryst fund, and it's black eye for Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama as they take off the gloves on the campaign trail. And return to the stalls of justice. While Senator Larry Craig maintains that he's not gay and never has been gay, more men come forward and say otherwise.
You're a naughty boy.
Craig keeps his wide stance and denies it. All that and more now on Countdown.
It got more humorous when they turned to Iraq. They show how Bush lies, but they refuse to actually say that he is a liar.
Good evening, everybody. I'm David Schuster in for Keith Olbermann. Imagine if this newscast began the same way night after night. It would be easy for us, but probably not the best journalism or television. Well, in our fifth story on the Countdown, imagine if President Bush kept giving the same speech again and again. His regular attacks on Congress for failing to rubber stamp his agenda, strangely similar. Yet another broadside came this morning in the White House Rose Garden. Mr. Bush scolded lawmakers as they returned for their holiday session, topping the president's list of complaints, the Democrats' refusal to pass his war funding request condition-free.
Earlier this year, congressional leaders were trying to impose conditions on funds because they said our strategy in Iraq was not working. We changed our strategy, and now even many of those who initially opposed the surge acknowledge that it is achieving results.
Military results, which are, however, only one part of the picture. Without the political gains by the Iraqi government that those military results were supposed to make possible, the actual ultimate goal of the surge still has not been reached. The president, though, had his own take this morning on what the military results have made possible.
This month, more of our troops will return home as a result of the success we're seeing in Iraq. People are coming home.
Except, of course, for the inconvenient fact that those troops were scheduled to rotate out of Iraq anyway, because the military is overstretched. In that way, the president's remarks echoed those that General David Petraeus gave to Congress in September, Mr. Bush name-dropping again this morning.
For Congress to an arbitrary date for withdrawal would put the gains General Petraeus and our troops have made in danger, and that would threaten the security of our country.
That it might put the security of this country in danger is an arguable point, but what is unquestionable is that by bringing our troops home, they would finally be out of danger themselves. Mr. Bush wrapped up his remarks against Congress with a big year-end finish.
The end of 2007 is approaching fast, and the new Congress has little to show for it. I call on members to use the time left to support our troops and to protect our citizens, prevent harmful tax increases, and responsibly fund our government.
Like any good employee self-evaluation, the Democratic leader of the Senate refuted that this afternoon. Majority Leader Harry Reid listed his accomplishments.
The president says we haven't done anything. Well, we passed a budget. We passed the 9/11 Commission recommendations. We provided money for Homeland Security. We raised the pay of our troops. We have equipped our troops. We've given health care for the wounded soldiers and the veterans. We have taken care of our National Guard, which has been ignored by this administration. So we feel comfortable that we've done the right thing for the American people. And I think the president should really come up with a new speech on the Rose Garden and what he did this morning. That was pretty weak.